Well, I don't know what day it is. I'm losing track of time. There's not much been bought. There was only a few bits. There's a few things on the wish list, but yeah, they're not pocket money stuff, you know. So I had an offer of one of these sellers. You know, you watch stuff on eBay, and finally budged a little bit. It's an Eve model product. It's a copy of the Bachmann Easy coupling, but cheaper than Bachmann Easy couplings. And I've used them before, and so far they've proved okay for the money. They do the job. They work with KDs, they work with Bachmanns. They're better than McHenry ones. And I needed some short ones for some kits that need converting from the horn and hook things. But I don't really want to go to KD money to convert them, so I got these for £10, shipped. They was off eBay but via China, so they'll go in the spares box along with all the others. And Richard is going on holiday from Roads and Rails, the sort of independent sound specialist, I guess, in the UK, and he had obviously a bit of an offer. He was doing them for 79 and then dropped them to 64. Now he only had 21 pin sound decoders, not 8 pin. But I have a few class 37s and 47s that don't have sound. TTS isn't an option now because you can't buy them, and when they do come up they're ridiculously expensive, and you might as well just buy the Hornby TTX thing, which goes wrong within a few months, so I didn't want to buy one of them. Long story short, well, it's too late for that now, isn't it? £64.99 he dropped the Sound Economy Soundtracks Econami Diesel in UK sounds to £64. So I thought, I bet he ain't got many of them left, and most items were out of stock, other than the 21s. So I bought two. Looks like I've got someone turned up. Yeah, so at £65 each, that's as cheap as Hornby, and you're getting a speaker with it as well. You get a little sugar cube in a box. They're okay. If you can put a bigger one in with more room, then put one in. But they do work quite well. So two of those to the collection. So probably a couple of me 47s might see these, or a 47 and a 37. The options on them, I think, are a class 20, a 66, and a 67 and a class 69. I can't remember. Oh, and the old Leyland DMUs, which I did buy one originally for a DM, the Dapol one, but as I'm obviously not got allowed to run them on yet, I haven't bothered buying one for them, or it didn't get used yet. Well, I blame this one on Andy Hot Dog Pilot. I have already blamed him for it. No, the guy's postage was a little bit, it was a rip-off. No other word for it. This is about £4 something. He was charging £7. And then there was another wagon which is exactly the same but has the tank on, doesn't have the tank on it. He was charging £8. I thought, well, I'm sure he'll combine postages, as that would be extracting the urine somewhat. And I requested an invoice, got an invoice with £13. And I thought, no, that's yeah, not cricket there, as they say. So he came back with 8. I thought, well, that's still a bit optimistic, but £4 a wagon. I paid under market value, well, market value for them, so it turns up in this. Zero packaging. upside down, nothing to protect anything, so hopefully everything's still intact. They have been swapped to KD couplings. So the reason I blame Andy Hot Dog Pilot for these is he's got a nice complement of them running around on a couple of his Sunday lives. And I've got the, I think is it Lido Days Gone By tank transporters with I got two of them, the limited edition I think they were, and I thought, well, actually that fits in with the theme of my wartime London North Eastern, and I could justify buying them because but obviously they're a bit thin on the ground now. So I think it's all there. I guess that's supposed to be the gun crutch. I don't know what the back bit is for, unless that was the, doesn't look like the amphibious version. So it's a die-cast Oxford model rail tank of a Sherman, I don't know which variant, and then the Warwell wagon that was built to carry heavy loads. That's plastic, doesn't weigh a huge amount, it's okay. I can't compare it with, say, like the Hatton's offering, and I can't remember who is it. Was it Bachman done one, or? So we've got one, which obviously is in the wartime issue. But the guy did have another one. It was admittedly a BR one, which is exactly the same. It's just obviously they think they're still in use now. We've got here some white buffers. Is that for later changes or something? I don't know. There's no information sheet. There's white buffer tops. We've got round or oval, so I'm guessing they change during their lifetime. So it gives you the option. So I bought this one as well, which this is the one he charged more postage for, even though, well, I don't suppose it really matters, but it all seems there, I think. Because I figured that, well, you know, at the end of the day, if it's got another piece of equipment on it, you're not really going to notice. I don't care. I'm not a rivet counter, and if I weather it up, then it's not the end of the world. I'm not too worried. I won't be giving a polite response to the rivet counter that goes, actually that's the wrong colour for the period that you're using, it wouldn't have been that BR. Oh, piss off. Yeah, although I probably won't be that polite. So I bought this one, and this one off the guy. So it looks okay. It's used. It's been static. There's a few bits on it, probably fly debris, shall we say. The tracks don't traverse. It looks like the cogs do move, but they're not. Your kid's not going to be pushing them across the table. Put it that way. So we have one. There may be more. It depends on what I can find and how much they are. To do, I can't show you the other ones. They're all. I don't even know if they're in that cabinet behind me. Actually, yes, they are behind the dog in the chair asleep. And I've got to take the camera off the mount. Too much faff. Okay, so you get the idea. So we could have a little scene where they're getting loaded. Two transporters are pulled in with tanks tarped up and being unloaded, loaded off to go somewhere. I can't tell you because it's loose lips cost lives. Well, we're back. Sounding a bit bunged up. I've had, I don't know, a lurgy, courtesy of me dad, I went to visit him after he'd been in hospital, and obviously hospitals being such wondrous places for infestations, and gave him a nice nasty whatever it is cough, along with lots of other things you don't want to go with it. Could be China flu, who knows. Anyway, we're on the tail of it now. So's me dad. That's me, by the way, not the postman eating the label, but you never know with some of them. This was another one of those little deals. I've been watching it, just keeping it on the back burner for when I did want to order them, and then they do, you know, knock a quid off or something, and it's rude not to take advantage, because you know what'll happen. By the time you do want them, they'll have gone up. So, I bought another pack of the 7 1825s, 25 pairs. They're like KD couplings, but they're not all metal. I think they're partially plastic. They work. They're not as good as KDs, but I would have had to have sold a kidney I don't own to buy this many KDs. So I buy these ones, particularly with sort of retrofit into the old Hall kits I've got on the roundhouse stuff. They seem to work so far, and I've got through a third of my original pack. I'm sort of looking at the amount of stock I've got. I have got a few KDs. I can't get the box out, but they came in handy, and I think, what was it, £12.5. So what would that be? $10. And this, I'm hoping that's just him folding the box down and not someone trying to use it as a trampoline. I hope not, anyway, because it's got signals in it. Let me find the I think these were a buy it now, and then the guy had obviously been told by eBay he'd got a watcher, so he sent me a reduction in the buy it now price, which I also done with another item which I'm a bit pissed with, because it was a bunch of Electro Frog turnouts and crossovers that were £80. I used a £5 voucher from PayPal, the £5 off if you use the eBay app. So, you know, I don't know, I knocked another tenner off the price, and that made each individual component, you know, turn out £3.5 each, which is a good price. Then I get an email off the guy saying that he'd advertised the wrong item, or used the wrong picture and the wrong description. I think maybe it might be that someone's told him they were worth a lot more than what he had them advertised for, and conveniently they're vaporised. So he offered me a pile of Pico set track ones and Hornby points, yeah. So I respectfully declined his offer, and I got a refund. So I have not got 17 points coming, or 21, I can't remember what it was now, but it was quite a few, and would have been a good purchase, a useful one, but it's not going to transpire now. But if I do see an advert with the same products in, we'll know what he's done. Could have been a genuine cock-up. So these are X-layout. They're all 3 aspect, which is why I bought them, because I've got enough 2s. They do need some repair work, but I did get a good deal on a load of brass signal post wire, ladders. They are a bit fragile, the old ladders. I think these are Econ ones, which is the kit version, and Burco is the other make. They actually produce a manufactured signal. They're slightly better, but come in at a lot more money. So I think he advertised more than there was in the picture, so I'm not quite sure on what I'm going to get here. As I said, some need a little bit of TLC. I think this is a wire basket, possibly. Yeah, just bits sticking back together, and the later type with the LEDs in them and not the old bulbs. So I'll unpack these and come back. Well, we're back. Still got the same amount as on the picture. He says 15 Ecom coloured light signals. Well, there's 14 pieces. These technically aren't signals, but including these as one each. So we've got the automatic half barrier jobbies, which obviously are animated. The arms don't move. Nowhere on them you could attach something. You might be able to do something, and obviously there's no bases. Again, nothing a piece of plexi card can't sort out. But while I've just been checking those, a box turned up from Yodel. Now I haven't checked the tracking today because I've been checking it for quite a while, because if I go on my messages for AliExpress, I've got a tracking number from Nice Toy, which was the company that sent me twice the wrong building. I don't think it's their fault. I think it's a bit like Amazon. The stock's on a warehouse shelf, it goes out. If it's part numbered wrong, no one knows. So as you're probably aware, I got the building twice. First time I sent it back, they had them on offer again, so I ordered it again, and lo and behold, as you saw in the previous video, it turned up and was the same bloody building, not the one I bought. So, shall we prepare for success or failure this time? Well, let's go for it. The first thing I'm a little bit worried about is the building scale height, or the actual height is 25.3 centimetres. This internal box is only 26.5. This thing moves positive waves, Moriarty. We're going to get 2 buildings for the price of one. We're going to get 1 free building and 1 correct building. One of them wider than the other, so the wide one's at the back and that's there like that. I don't know. It's certainly not the balcony one anyway. It looks more favourable. This one's got, I think these are the bases and probably an intermediate floor. I think that's probably that intermediate floor. And this one doesn't come with any glazing. The other one had tinted glazing just to give you the effect. Although I was looking for some tinted stuff to do exactly the same thing. It's not advertised as coming with glazing. Some do, some don't. I think it's just the way they are. So, finally, now I have to figure out how I'm going to build it, because obviously I'm not just going to slot it together and stick it in the background like they do on the Chinese layouts or the Japanese style. So we need some glazing, tinted glazing, so I'll have to look for some of that. Smoked or plastic packaging that's got a tint to it. Can't think of nothing off the top of my head, but answers on a postcard, please. Well, later that day, I've been through them all. One was a bit odd because it's got 6 wires, and the counterpart to it hasn't. It's got a shared common. The other one doesn't. So I don't know whether they're from different periods of time. So each LED has got a live and neutral rather than a shared one. The only one that doesn't seem to work is this one, as I've now carefully tried to pick it apart. It would be a bit awkward to try and rebuild 3 replacements. It looks like someone's obviously smoked it and shoved 12 volts up its bum without a resistor, because they're all dead. Did save the hood without damage. That's the old lady. So we've got to do those. Their LEDs are slightly odd though, because if you look at an LED, there's normally a shoulder at the end of it, so that if you drilled, say, like a 3mm hole, you couldn't pass it all the way through a 3mm hole. These don't have that shoulder. Now I have tried to mod some previously and file them down. It's a bit of obviously a ball ache, because you've got to hold a tiny little thing and file it all round. Or pay stupid money for their LEDs, so I don't know if they have a specific part type name to them, because they don't have a collarless. I don't know, I'll have to have a search. I've got loads of the normal ones, so I might just have to modify. What else was there? Right, that's it. I've got to find a home for all these now.